about issues. And tonight is a particularly important topic. Many of you who are here were part of our coalition to stop the air train from being built. And I'm so happy and proud to be a member of this community and say that we won. Yes. So I want to especially shout out our Community Board 3 members, including our chairman, Frank Taylor, the Ditmars Boulevard Association, and I see a representative from Assemblymember Jeff Aubrey here.
I'm here on now.
Oh, she's here. Okay, Lily is here as her tonight. Lily is not here in any professional capacity. She's giving us her time off. Thank you, Lily. Thank you. Sorry, I ended up putting you on the spot that way. And I also want to begin by giving a shout out to the World's Fair Marina. I thank them profusely for hosting us tonight and so many actually of the meetings that we've been having around organizing against the air train. And I do want to say, please think of them for all of your family occasions. Tonight, we are going to be talking about transportation. And, you know, we've been privy to the first meeting with the Port Authority, where we had the opportunity to look at various proposals that are being made as a replacement to the air train that had been previously proposed. But that's not the only thing going on in our neighborhood, of course. And this is why I wanted to have kind of a broader conversation, and we have a panel full of folks here. We also have representatives from the MTA to talk a little bit about trains, a little bit about buses. We're expecting a bus redesign to happen soon again, and I know that here in our community we're not shy, so we want to make sure to give them all of our feedback. And we have some representatives from the City Department of Transportation. So to think about and everything that has to do with roads, everything that has to do with bike lanes, and that sort of thing. So I want us to start thinking about transportation in our area very holistically. I always like to say that I never disagreed with the premise of the air train. LaGuardia Airport needs better access. That's without question. But we cannot ignore the community that lives around the airport. We also need transportation, our transportation needs met. And we've long gone forgotten or ignored, not made a priority, and we have to change that. And that's why we've asked all of these agencies to be here today with us. I'll tell you that in terms of what I've been up to in Albany right now, we've been in budget negotiations. The New York State budget is due in New York State every April 1st, every year. So we're kind of in these last few really critical weeks. In fact, I just got back from Albany. I was up there this morning. One of the new innovative things that we've been talking about and that I was able to secure in the Senate budget, it's not in the Assembly budget, but I think, you know, we're gaining some traction, is with school scrambles. As many people know, I'll explain a little bit, we have unfortunately lost more than a dozen children and many more adults along Northern Boulevard, particularly going to and coming from school. And, you know, a lot of drivers don't yield to pedestrians when they turn, and we all know that that's the law, that's what you're supposed to do, no matter how much of a hurry you're in, right? And we want to make sure that we are updating our street infrastructure in order to support that. So a scramble would actually make it so that every corner, the 4 corners of a school block, have red lights at the same time for every single car for a determined period of time, only during arrival in the morning and during dismissal in the afternoon. So it's not something that would be the whole day, you know, we're trying to do it reasonably, but this is about saving our children's lives and saving everybody's lives. That's much more important than any car. So I guess we can begin. We are joined today by, from the Port Authority, we have Hirsch Parekh right here. And from the MTA, we have Lucille Songhai and Danny Randell. And from the DOT, we have Queens Commissioner Nicole Garcia and John O'Neill. So I'm actually going to give them the microphone. We're going to kind of go down the line and hear their presentations. And once we've concluded that, we'll open to questions and answers, if that sounds good. We're hoping that this will be for about an hour. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I haven't had dinner yet. Maybe some of you haven't either. And that's important. So I'm going to kick it off to Hirsch so he can tell us a little bit about the different proposals that have been made in response to the air train denial.
Can everyone hear me? Would you like to take the mask off if it's easier? Okay. Well, good evening, everybody. Again, my name is Hirsch Perek. I'm with the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey. It's great to be back at the World Trade Marina. Thank you, Senator, for convening us, and for my sister agencies and my colleagues here in transportation and government, and to the community. It's good to see such a great turnout, phenomenal way to get back into in-person events, so very happy to see this. As the Senator mentioned, the Port Authority is currently evaluating 14 options to improve mass transit access to LaGuardia Airport. As we can see right from here, LaGuardia is undergoing a major, long overdue renovation, and a 21st century airport deserves a good mass transit connection. And so what we are currently doing is looking at different modes, everything from buses to light rail to subway extensions to ferry options, looking at all of those options, 14 different in total, and evaluating them to see which ones, to understand the implications of each one, everything from projected ridership to cost to community impact to environmental benefits and so on and so forth. And so we've begun this process back in October, November. We are being guided by a panel of 3 independent experts. And the report that will be produced at the end of this process will be made public. And so I invite the community to stay engaged with us. In addition to this town hall this evening, we have another workshop where we'll go over the 14 options this Thursday at Astoria World Manor at 6 p.m. So I hope you can all join us there as well, and please help us spread the word. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hirsch. I'm sorry, Lucille, I think the cord's a little short.
Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Lucille Songhai. I am Assistant Director of Government and Community Relations at MTA. We are very happy to be here tonight. I'm here with my colleague Danny, who's also going to join me up here. Some of the things that we're here to talk to you all about tonight is some of the innovations that we're doing with our fare program. So the MTA is really trying to be more creative to think about ways to bring people back into the system, but then also to provide discounts for folks. Because we know that in this time, folks are struggling, people need help, not just with getting on transit, but in all various types of ways. And so the way that we're trying to do it is by encouraging our Omni fare capping new system, where you pay for your fares, but then you get extra free fares after you use the Omni card after a certain amount. We're also here to encourage people to apply and to also encourage your neighbors to apply for the Fair Fares program, which is funded by the city, but it's under-enrolled right now, and so we're really looking to have people sign up. So Fair Fares means that if you don't already have a reduced fare card or other ways that you're getting a discount, you might be eligible. And so we have cards over there. Please share it with your neighbors and your friends for folks that really are in need to utilize that. We also have over there cards about our rules of conduct on the subway. As we know, there's been a lot of conversation publicly about homelessness on the subway system and subway safety. So we just want to share information about what those rules of conduct are so that everyone is aware. But then also making sure that we have enough support down in the subway system, not just with NYPD, but also with Breaking Ground and our other social service organizations to help our unhoused neighbors. And then finally, we don't have any news to break tonight about the Queens Bus Network redesign, but we are really looking forward to coming back out to Queens to re-engage everyone about the redesign. I think, personally, that folks will be happy with some of the things that they see. Because that we had this 2-year break because of COVID, it really allowed our planners the opportunity to really sit with the comments that we received the first time around. I attended over 60 community meetings in a 3-month span from January 2020 to March 2020, which is a lot of meetings, a couple of meetings in a night. So, you know, all of those comments and things that we received from folks have been looked at, they've been analyzed, probably even more so than if we didn't have the pandemic. Really allowed our folks an opportunity to really see what you were thinking. So we're looking forward to coming back to you all very shortly with the redesign and re-engaging. So I'm now going to pass it to Danny, who's going to talk about interborough exchange.
Hi, folks. My name is Danny Randell, and I'm also an Assistant Director of Government and Community Relations for the